If you truly want to become powerful, you're going to have to learn the art of collaboration. The most foolish way to live a life is to blame other people for our problems. We all know people who have toxic behaviors and genuinely make life difficult for others. But it's easy to point the finger. And the moment we do, we misdiagnose our problem. All human beings have a natural tendency to protect themselves from the discomfort of self-criticism. In other words, we avoid introspection when it comes to how our thoughts and behaviors contribute to a problem we're experiencing. It's just easier to not self-reflect when it comes to acknowledging our own mistakes and flaws. But by taking the easier path, we release our ownership and with that, our power over our problem. We surrender our control to someone else, expecting them to change and improve to fit our expectations. By putting ourselves on this pedestal, we lose our ability to understand what's truly happening in reality. It's wise to remember that only those who suffer can create suffering around them. You know this by virtue of being human. We all encounter situations where we get stuck in deeply ingrained behavior patterns that are hard to change. These patterns are likely coping mechanisms for responses to previous intense experiences. Think of a person who's been attacked by a dog before and is now scared of them. When that person meets a new dog, they're likely to relate to that dog from a fearful place. And because they're relating in a fearful way, the dog is going to sense that and put up its defenses. So a dog that would never attack anyone otherwise might become aggressive as a result of that initial response. By not trusting, that person created distrust. Neither can help it much because they're both responding based on patterns of behavior that they've become accustomed to. Patterns of behavior that their brains have told them is the best way to deal with this current situation. So when we come across someone who's making life difficult, it'll benefit us to take this into consideration. Every person behaves based on their current level of awareness, based on the knowledge they have and their emotional capacity to access and utilize that knowledge. We all have limits at times and just want to avoid pain and find happiness. Recognizing this and truly valuing freedom, it only makes sense to take complete responsibility. What else can we do to make things better and move forward in a more productive way? By taking a moment to see things clearly before we assign blame, we take back our control. By willfully confronting and working through challenges, both personal and interpersonal, we get power. The most important thing to strive for is to understand the human condition we're confronted with. If we can take a moment to really listen and to really observe, we'll see that all creation, whether we label it as positive or negative, is a whole. Separateness is an illusion. Like it or not, we're all on the same team. If we want power, it's going to come through cooperation. If we want independence, it's going to come through service. And if you want to be a greater version of your current self, it's going to come through selflessness.